and welcome to a socially distanced episode of Press Play Reviews. I'm David.
I'm Corey.
And it's been a long time since we've seen each other. We're in very remote locations right now. Corey is back home in Kansas City while I sit all by my lonesome in Georgia.
Yay. I miss you, buddy.
I miss you too. Hopefully when this whole thing is over, we'll be able to see each other soon. So I'm ready to get out of Georgia, like you wouldn't believe.
I'm ready to get out of Kansas City.
It's weird. We're going everywhere right now. This Lonesome Sunday has now completely gone nationwide. We're going all over the country.
Yeah. We have somebody in Branson. We have people in Texas. We have you in Georgia.
Yeah, we're currently in Georgia, and then you're going to Arkansas for a temporary bit before going to your next destination. So
wherever that may be.
Wherever that may be. Well, what you should do is just take like a dart and throw it at the board and see like where it lands this time. And just be like, Elizabeth, we're applying the jobs in Kenosha, Washington.
No! If we're moving to Washington, we're moving to Wally Wally.
That's what it is. Walla Walla, Washington. Oh my gosh, I remember that from Bugs Bunny. But anyway, we are here today to talk about the Blumhouse movie.
I'm glad I spent money on this.
Corey, you want to go over the plot of The Hunt?
The Hunt is a movie about a group of liberal elite who start a tradition to kidnap a bunch of conservatives to hunt them in a manor, which they find out about through Manorgate.
It's stupid. It's really, really stupid. And they're not just conservatives. They're more like conspiracy theorists, tinfoil hat-wearing conservatives for the most part. Yeah.
The extremist of the extreme.
I actually thought in a lot of ways, like, going through this movie, and we can get into it. Like, okay, first off, let's just start.
It's the Alex Jones kind of conservative.
Yes, it's the Alex Jones kind of InfoWars, watching airplanes dumping chemtrail.
Don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
YouTube is the best source for information because it's the only one for the people. Please watch our channel. But, like, no, for real, like, it's just pure nonsense, people being swept away by these super liberal elitists. First off, Corey, how did you feel about this movie while you were watching it?
Well, this is one of the toughest movies I've had to watch because, like, whenever I was watching it, I had 1,000 interruptions when trying to watch it.
Oh no, what happened?
No, it was a bunch of stuff. It's fine. But as I was watching it,
yeah,
I have never gotten more angry while watching a movie in a while.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah.
Because, like, we can get into it, but this is a very politically themed movie. And I feel like it was trying to be smarter than it is.
I couldn't agree more. I think the political message in this is so murky and at the same time clear, but like not like it's like if you can see like a ruby at the bottom of literally a pool of shit.
Yes.
Yeah, like there's something there, and there's something that they're trying to say, but like, and it's shiny enough to push through like all the piles of just awful, but like you're not reaching down there to get it because it's too damn hard.
So David.
Yeah.
I'd like to pose you a question.
Go ahead.
What side is this movie taking? Who's the good guy in this movie?
So I mean, like that's kind of I watched this movie with Ed, and I think that's such a complicated question because like the message is really not clear on what it's trying to be.
Correct.
But like when me and Ed were sitting there kind of talking about it, and like we fanned off a little bit of dust, just kind of hashing it out on what we thought, and we kind of came away with the conclusion that Crystal is the good person in this. But like when you're talking about the political message of it all, we kind of just talked about it for a second, and we were like, maybe Crystal is supposed to represent like the middle of the United States, like the moderates. Like I thought that was who they were trying to portray as the good guys. but at the same time, I felt like I was really digging for that answer.
Yes. Because the way the movie kind of sets it up is it is literally just the extremist of the conservatives versus the extremist of the liberals. And it doesn't paint either in a good light. And so it's just the constant question of, like, who do they think is the correct group? Because it doesn't really give anything away.
Yeah.
Like, it paints the worst aspects of both.
It really does, and, like, I asked myself, like, maybe the point isn't that they're trying to write a message of, like, this is the right side or the wrong side. And I kind of asked myself at one point, are they just trying to hold a mirror up to society? Like, you know what I'm saying? Are they just trying to hold a mirror up to society and going, these are the people that are fighting? Like, you know, it's these liberal elitists and, like, these crazy, you know, conspiracy theorist conservatives. And in the back of my head, I'm also thinking at the same time, like, is that... Why are we driving this question? Like, you know, I feel like intelligent Americans already know that. Like,
yep.
Like, yeah, it's that literally it's crazy people yelling at each other across, you know, over social media and everything else in society. So, like, when you have a socially conscious film like this, like, why tell us something that we already know? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's one of the things that keeps something from becoming art when it tries to be socially conscious, is that it's trying to say something that people are already completely aware of. Like, you know, bad guys are bad. Really, you're not making that big of a controversial statement. You know what I mean?
At the same time, like, while I was watching it, I could just feel like it was trying to sow dissonance amongst both groups against each other.
Yes. Yeah, like...
I felt like this was a very divisive movie intentionally. Like, somebody who's on the far right is going to see it and be like, of course they're trying to hunt and kill us. Whereas somebody on the far left is like, well, of course we want to hunt and kill them.
Well, like, that was part of my issue when I was watching it, like, trying to go through this socially conscious message that it's trying to have. Like, in one part of my brain, it's like, okay, I feel bad for the conservatives running through the fields for their lives. And then, like... But is the message of this movie trying to say that maybe liberals should be rising up to fight these fucking conservatives? Like, the entire time I'm just like, who am I supposed to be cheering for? And the answer is, you know, Crystal. That's the only person you're supposed to be cheering for. Is like, kill them all, you know? Like, I don't know.
At the same time, while I was watching it, I couldn't root for Crystal. I couldn't root for our main hero.
Yeah, because I was questioning the entire time, what did she do to be deserved? What did she do to deserve being there? Because that's not revealed until much later that she's there by accident.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the twist of the whole movie, is that she's there by accident.
Yes.
But at the same time, like, I couldn't root for her, like, up until before then, because, like, up until then, like, you're thinking, oh, she's one of these people, she did something stupid, or, like, she said something stupid online, because everyone's just seems to be talking about, like, oh, I have a podcast, oh, I have a YouTube show, oh, I'm practicing my free speech, so on and so forth.
Yes, absolutely.
And so, like, she doesn't say anything through, like, most of the movie.
The entire time she has no message, no...
And I can't root for her. Like, with, like, a John McClane, he's there trying to save his family to see his family on Christmas.
Yes.
Like, and then he's just kicking ass because he can, and he's doing what's right. With her, like, I get that she's in a terrible situation and she's, like, just defending herself. I get that. I'm for that. But she had no personality through the entire movie. Like, the most we got was a really, really scary monologue about the tortoise and the hare. Which was probably the most fucked up thing in the entire movie.
It's like the rabbit came into the house and ate the turtle's food right in front of him, in front of his murdered family. I was like, This is the most screwed up tortoise and hare story I've never heard the continuation of the entire story like that.
Yeah, like...
Oh my gosh. I was like, is that a Grimm's fairy tale?
I thought it was an Aesop. But that was what made me the most angry, was like, I got that there was like this dissonance between like what side they were trying to actually choose for it.
Oh yeah.
And so, like, we had this, like, middle person who had no personality. I'm like, I can't root for them because they literally have no personality.
100%. So, what did you think about the fact that at the beginning of this movie, you were kind of unsure who the main character was?
I liked it.
I did too.
I absolutely loved the first 20 minutes of this movie.
People just being randomly shot, and you're like, oh, this is our hero. Oh, no, they're not. Yes. And it's like, because I was convinced for the first, like, 5 minutes of the movie that Emma Roberts was going to be our main character the entire time during this. My thoughts were immediately at the beginning of this is that, you know, Betty Gilpin's character, Crystal, you see her, like, making the magnet compass and all that stuff out there in the woods, and she just walks off without saying anything. And everything, the camera's still pretty much on Emma Roberts' character, who's Yoga Pants is what I've heard her nickname being so far. But, like, she's sitting there, and she's like, hey. So I thought the story was she's going to go over there, people are going to start dying, and then she's going to go find, like, the girl who was, like, making the compass and clearly has really good survival skills, and they're going to work this thing out together and overtake the bad guys. Well, 5 minutes in, Emma Roberts goes, oh, wow, that bullet came really close to me. And then her head gets blown off. And then, like, a couple of minutes later, like, I think it was Ike Barinholtz's character from Staten Island, like, gets blown in the chest during the fucking Arkansas gas chamber scene. Or Arkansas gas chamber. Arkansas gas station scene, you know what I mean? Like, he gets blown away in the chest. Like, it was crazy. And I was like, I have no idea what's happening. This is nuts. Wow.
No, I absolutely loved the first 20 minutes of this movie because, like, one of my favorite niche genres of film is the we're all stuck in this location, let's kill each other thing.
Yes, that's so good.
I love the Lord of the Flies genre of movies because you have things like The Purge, which Blumhouse also did. I fucking love those movies because they're so stupid. There's the Belko Experiment, the Hunger Games, Battle Royale, the original one of these. But I love this real niche genre. And so I'm just like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted this movie to be.
You are here. Survive. Yeah.
And then after the first 20 minutes, I'm like, okay, so what's going on now? Where's this going to go?
Yep. I mean, yeah, I completely agree. It was absolutely nutso for the first, like, 20 minutes of this entire film, and it was crazy. I thought that was the best 20 minutes of the film right there.
Yes.
When everything went just completely crazy. Yeah.
I loved the movie up until the moment that our main character, Crystal, was... Yep, Crystal. I loved the movie up until the time that she showed up at the gas station.
Yes, the pack of smoke scene I thought worked. I thought it was cool, but like after she got out of that pack of smoke scene and killed like all the gas station attendant people, the fake gas station attendant people, about the like cigarettes only cost $6 in Arkansas. Which
that was the moment when I turned on the movie.
Wait, what?
That single line of dialogue was when I turned against this movie.
Really?
Yes. The reason why is because we have this character who said that she is from Mississippi, and she's over here who's so, like, overpowered, she's a complete Mary Sue in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's, like, I paid for this pack of cigarettes, and I know instinctively how much a random pack of cigarettes is going to be in this backwater section of Arkansas. And so I'm like, I don't, I can't root for this hero.
Lisa! Cigarettes in Arkansas only cost $6. You fucked up, bitch!
See, my ejection point was probably somewhere around the moment where, after that, where the drone got shot down and Ethan Suplee comes in. I enjoyed Ethan Supplee's character of Shut the Fuck Up Gary. But, like, Shut the Fuck Up Gary and, like, her, they worked, but, like, I was still very much in... I think that's when it started getting preachy. And it got, not preachy, but stupid preachy. Which is the term I'm going to start using to describe this film for a little while. Because that's when he's on the train and the crisis actors are there.
Oh, come on.
What?
They're not real. You know what we have here? Crisis actors. What are the chances the one train car with the open doors full of illegals?
But yeah, I felt like it started getting stupid preachy right about that time with the whole Ethan Suplee doing that whole thing about the crisis actors and whatnot. And I thought it got really dumb the moment goes. It's like, I'm the only one who's not a crisis actor, Greg. Or Gary. Yeah. Like, the moment where they're over there being pulled over by, was it Russian soldiers, Slovenia? I have no idea. Somewhere from Eastern Europe over.
I think it was Slovenia, or...
It might have been Slovenia. I didn't recognize the flag. I just knew that they were somewhere in Europe. Yeah, and I was like, this looks to be somewhere in Eastern Europe, but I don't think it's the Russians, so...
Yeah. I was trying to look it up to see if... Croatia.
Croatia, okay.
It was Croatia.
Really? Just outside of Italy? Just outside of Italy, pretty much.
From the point with the cigarettes for me, like, I was just like, okay, I feel like this movie's just going to keep getting stupider. And then when I got to crisis actors, I'm like, okay, I can't, like, I feel like we're supposed to be rooting for this person, and I hate him.
Yes, I felt like yes. Yeah, no, you're exactly right. We went from, we jumped character to character that we thought we were supposed to be cheering for. And, like, at the beginning of the film, it was fun because it was chaotic. And your brain went, oh, shit, it was the Sean Bean effect, you know, like, in Game of Thrones where he dies at the end of season 1. You're like, what's happening? You know, like, you got that effect over and over and over again. When you got Crystal and then you started giving her a buddy, I hated that buddy. Like, immediately. I hated Gary. Well, I didn't hate Gary immediately. I started hating Gary at the crisis actor scene. That's when I was like, Gary, no.
And then we got Dawn.
And Dawn just seemed stupid from the word moment go, and I didn't enjoy Dawn at all.
No. I enjoyed watching Dawn die.
Yes, I enjoyed that. That was actually an interesting piece of conflict, but, like, at the same time, like, I thought it was still stupid because everything is stupid in this movie.
How did you feel about Hilary Swank?
The reveal scene with Hilary Swank?
Yeah.
I thought that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like I know
where
we have
it jumps the year before and explains why everything is happening.
Yes, we went a year before, did a complete camera 180 pan around Hilary Swank's head. You know who that needed to be? You know, the entire time I'm thinking to myself, if you want this movie to be super controversial and crazy, like, make it Hillary Clinton.
Yep.
Yeah, like, oh my god. Like, Hilary Swank, I had to sit there for 2 minutes and go, who is that? I know it's the Athena character, but, like, why are they making this a big deal? Why is panning the camera around to who this Athena character is? Like,
because it's Academy Award winner Hilary Swank in this Blumhouse movie.
I don't care. There's already names I knew in this film. Like,
yep.
I already knew Ethan Suplee. I already knew Emma Roberts. Like, there were people I recognized immediately from this film. Why is Hilary Swank the one that you have to do a complete camera 180 pan on? Like, I understand that it's been the faceless character this entire time, but, like, I felt like that reveal of that character could have been... It couldn't have been more pointless. Like,
yep.
It did nothing for me as a viewer besides go, well, am I supposed to know who this is? Is this some reveal from earlier in the movie, or is it something else? Hated it. I hated everything about it. I hated it.
Well, then we get the whole, the movie, like, the very first shots of the movie is like a text message conversation between Hilary Swank's Athena character and like, her whole group of liberal elite friends.
Yes.
And, like, the 1 year earlier is showing the results of that conversation, which then...
It shows you that this is not a conspiracy theory. I got that. It was like,
yeah,
it wasn't just like, oh, this movie is about a conspiracy theory that came true. Like, what if this conspiracy theory was true? This movie was.
Well, David,
clearly...
I'm not going into this for you. I'm going into this for the audience.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, that was the moment that like it became like more about. Oh, this is crazy liberals versus crazy conservatives. That was the moment the direction of the movie changed, and like for us, the viewer.
Well, I feel like it had already always been there because, like up until that point, we had just only seen the conservative side of it. We're getting shot at.
Yes.
And them going, oh, this is Manorgate. This is Manorgate. This is one of the Manor games.
Yeah, well, that was what I was kind of getting at, is that, like, from the first, up until that point, we've been running around with those conservatives and going, oh my god, and my brain saying, like, this movie is, like, one of a conspiracy theory, one of these conspiracy theories were true. Like, I thought that's what I was running with in my head. The moment after that, like, during that Hilary Swank reveal scene, when it's clearer now that is not what this movie is about. It is about crazy liberals who decided to act out one of these conspiracy theories that was made by the crazy conservatives
because they're angry.
Which, I don't know, for me, made the movie feel dumber in a way.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, no, yeah, you know exactly what I mean at this point. Frustrating. Everyone is now dumber in this room for having watched this.
Yes.
Yes.
No. After the movie, I had to go and like just try to process it, and I was talking through it with Elizabeth, my wife, and I was just like, I just don't understand why this movie was made.
Same. Like, no, I'm 100% with you. I think part of the thing that gave me issues is, like, I was asking why this movie was made, which we talked about the socially conscious part of it, and, like, we're sitting here talking about, is it trying to hold up a mirror to society and tell us something, or is it trying to make a point? Like, it's completely unclear what that's supposed to be. Like I said, the only reason I can fathom why this movie was made is I really think that Blumhouse thought that this was going to be their next big hit. And, like, for people who don't know, Blumhouse made Get Out. They made the Purge series. And those are controversial to an extent. And they have a message, more or less, to them. I'm not saying they're super controversial, but I'm saying, like...
I feel like Get Out is more controversial than the Purge series. Personally.
Yeah, I mean, but, like, all of it had, like, this charged, like, message to it kind of thing. Like, I felt like... depending on how you
also have to remember that Blumhouse also released Truth or Dare, Wish Upon, Blumhouse's Fantasy Island.
Yes, and those films had a much smaller budget than The Hunt or Get Out. Like, let's be real. This movie spent $14 million to be made. They got Hilary Swank, for Christ's sake, as we pointed out a minute ago, into this film. Like, I really think that they talked to themselves like, this could be our next Get Out. Like, I really think they believed that.
On that same note, Hilary Swank also released The Reaping shortly after she got her Academy Award. And that was a terrible movie. She doesn't pick good scripts.
No, she doesn't. Hillary, we need to talk. Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, I do feel like I think that Blumhouse really thought that this was going to be one of the big winners.
I think so too.
I really do. Especially because it was coming out the year prior, and now with the delayed release in March, like, it was coming out the year of an election year.
Yeah.
I really think that this thing was trying to piece together something and try to make a bigger message than we were really anticipating on it. Or they were trying to make a message, because, like, this entire thing was marketed to be the most talked about film of the year. It was supposed to be this super controversial film. What it really is at its core, Corey, is a stupid ass thriller comedy if you can just ignore the politics in it.
which I can't.
It was really, really hard. But like, I think if we had a rewatch on it, we could. I think you could watch it as a dumb comedy thing, but you just got to tune out that crap the entire time that you're getting in there to have it made.
I could see this being a good, bad film 15 years from now.
I think if politics change in America, which they likely will in the next 15 to 20 years,
yep,
I definitely agree with you that
this is going to be a good time capsule film from in 20 years.
You're exactly right. I agree with you entirely. Like, I think it's very much going to be a time capsule film. Like, what would be another one that we could probably point out that had like similar effect, like the Manchurian Candidate? Like, I don't know if that one's a time capsule, but
sort
like,
of.
Yeah, but I mean, there's other things that we can find. I'm sure if you go back.
Are we talking about the original or the 2000s one with Denzel?
I was thinking the original one, but like
with Frank Sinatra.
No, I'm kidding. But like, I'm sure that you can find like films out there that can be controversial or were trying to be controversial at a time they're a time capsule film, and I think this is one of them. And I think that's one of the things that's holding this film back is just really, really bad trying to tap into the thing. You know what I mean? It's trying to tap on something, and I'm still not sure what it's trying to tap on.
Well, it's trying to tap on something, and it's being real stupid about doing it.
Yeah, 100%. So let me ask you this. I brought it up just a second ago, and I think it's worth mentioning. How do you feel about this movie coming out in an election year? Do you think it's worth anything, people watching it?
No,
or I mean, like,
don't
I'm not saying based on political opinion on it, but like, do you think that people should see something like this if it is supposed to be a mirror being held up to society, or do you think throw this thing in the fucking trash can?
Throw this in a fucking trash can.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Like, I feel like this movie is, like, it coming out in the time that we are currently living in is just going to sow dissonance even more so amongst the outliers that this movie is targeting. I feel like this movie is so much full of hate for both sides that they're only going to see the hate directed at themselves.
I 100% agree with that. Yeah, no, I think that's a way that you could have a conversation about it, you know. And I think for the people who sit in the middle, you're gonna probably be like having a conversation that me and you were having. It was like, well, that was stupid, like, you know, like I think that's how people in the middle would see this film. So I don't think it really does anything to persuade a side or the other, or try to make you convinced of a particular argument to try to see the point of view from someone else. Like, I just think it's stupid. Like, it's just a really, really, really bad ordeal. But Corey, if you give me just a second here, I've got to do something that I wanted to do on our conversation here today.
Oh God.
Few moments later.
Greetings, comrade. It is Stalinade. For the rest of this review, I will be drinking Stalinade. Yes, for Orwell's wonderful remarks here. I have no idea if this soda is going to be any good or not. I found this at a novelty soda shop, and I was like, oh dear Lord, we're talking about this movie where they were making George Orwell and Snowball references at the beginning of it. I have to drink a communist-themed beverage.
Yeah. I gotta say, I did enjoy the animal farmness of this movie.
Which comes again why I think that they were trying to actually say something when they were making it, is because I don't think you accidentally put I don't think you ironically put George Orwell and Snowball in the same script and then draw attention to it multiple times throughout the film about these pigs. And, you know, like, there's references about the pig being in a dress. There's references to the pig.
Okay, question. When the first time the pig came out of the box, was it just me, or did you go, oh, it's Hamlet?
That didn't pop in my head, but I can totally see that. I thought to myself, oh, look, it's Babe. Here, pig. That'll do, pig.
Well, it seemed like it was in, like an Elizabethan, like, Shakespeare outfit, so I was like, Hamlet.
I love the fact that Crystal's character draws attention to it when they're outside of the car, and she sits there and goes, Is that pig wearing clothes? Like in reference to Animal Farm. Oh, by the way, if you people have not read Animal Farm, read Animal Farm. It's fantastic.
It's not about animals.
I mean, it is, but it's not.
All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others.
And our good friend Napoleon here.
It's been a long time since I've read that book. I need to go reread it.
I haven't read it in a long, long time. Did they ever make that into a film?
Yes, multiples.
Oh my god, I need to watch one. I have never watched an Animal Farm film.
The original was an animated film from the 70s. It came out like shortly after Charlotte's Web, the animated movie. And it's in the exact same style. I think the same company produced it.
Hanna-Barbera fucking produced Animal Farm?
I think so.
I will have to research that.
You can watch it on, I think it's in the public domain now. So.
Dude, we're doing a joint coffee with on that, if that is a thing.
But then they also made a 2000s live action movie a la like Dr. Dolittle. Like with Eddie Murphy with the talking animals. With Kelsey Grammer as Napoleon. And they gave it a happy ending.
It's ironic. I am drinking Stalinade and wearing my Frasier t-shirt at the exact same time right now in this conversation. I came prepared today. I came prepared. All right, any final thoughts on this movie, Corey, before we, wrap this review of Press Play up?
This was a piece of shit, and I wish that I had not wasted my time on it.